Welcome to another new series here on the Kowabana channel. At the start of each month, I'll be taking a look back at some of the weird, strange, bizarre, odd, and sometimes scary news that comes out of Japan. Want a quick wrap-up of some of the weird things that happened last month? Then look no further. Let's take a look at some of the things that happened in March 2022. Number 1. I'm sure most of you know this already by now, but Sadako opened her own YouTube channel this March. Titled Sadakos Well Life, she has been fairly active in posting videos at least once every few days. As you might expect of Sadako these days, you can find all sorts of bizarre videos there like Sadako exercising, putting on makeup, her morning routine, playing as herself in Dead by Daylight, and more. English subs are included, so make sure you go and check it out. Number 2. On March 24th, it was reported that a mass of rubber surrounded by tires had washed up on the shores of Rumoi City in Hokkaido on February 1st. This odd mass measured roughly 6.5 meters long by 4.5 meters wide, and nobody could quite figure out what it was. Then, on February 24th, 3 weeks later, another mass of rubber and tires washed up in nearby Ishikari City. What on earth were these strange rubber mounds, and why had they washed ashore? Residents were extremely confused, to say the least. Some investigating uncovered the English word high-tech written on these giant rubber objects, as well as a logo that led them to an Indian company that makes cushioning material for ships. Mystery solved. Except for the fact that there was no record of any ships nearby using the high-tech bumpers, nor any reports of any ships losing them. The most likely explanation is that they washed up from somewhere afar, and Ishikari City has reportedly asked for the owners to come forward and foot the bill for disposing of the rubber, while Rumoi is getting rid of it themselves. Number 3. In early February, a video was uploaded to YouTube showing a man recording what looked like a vlog deep in the mountains and forests of Japan as he was suddenly attacked by zombies, and then eventually turning himself. No, it wasn't our first look at a real zombie apocalypse, nor was it even promo for a new film or anything like that. As it turned out, it was a project cooked up by Matsuzaki City, the least populated town in Shizuoka, with a population of only 6,100 people. With the recent lack of tourists, they've been hit especially hard and, at the same time, have seen an uptick in the deer and wild boar populations. As such, the local government and various associations are promoting something they call Zombie Camp. This Zombie Camp, an annual event held every August and September since 2014, invites people in their 20s, 30s and 40s to take part in a rather unique camping experience where they can enjoy hunting the rapidly growing numbers of boar and deer, as well as fending off hordes of the fake undead. The zombies consist of elderly locals, so it's best not to actually fight them off, or, you know. Still, if you're in the area, Zombie Camp certainly sounds like a lot of fun. Number 4. Interested in solving a murder mystery and escaping from a real abandoned building? Well, if you're in Japan, you can do just that in the ruins of the former Hotel Aikamu in Kobe. GG Pro, a hotel management company, has turned the site of the former hotel and now abandoned ruins into a real-life game that will run until June 30th this year. As you're no doubt aware, people entering abandoned buildings is certainly not a rarity in Japan, despite it often being illegal. This causes a lot of damage and can also be terribly unsafe. Here, GG Pro hopes to allow people to explore ruins in a safe and legal way, and get a cool story where you solve a mystery and fight ghosts to go along with it. Each game lasts 40 minutes, and you can work alongside everyone else to solve the mystery in time. Number 5. On March 16th, Japan was hit by yet another large earthquake. Naturally, coming 11 years after the Fukushima disaster, this was frightening for many, and one Twitter user captured the moment that Tokyo went dark as he was riding on his motorcycle. It's rare to see Tokyo without lights, so it's certainly a surreal and eerie moment. The rider was able to safely make it home and post the video, and Japan being Japan, numerous Twitter users then took the video and added their own music to it, making the video like something out of an actual horror movie, much to the original poster's delight. Never change, Twitter. Number 6. Sticking with Twitter, Osaka will host the World Expo in 2025, and as such, they're currently looking to narrow down the candidates for the World Expo mascot. Because you've got to have a mascot in Japan, and the weirder the better, apparently. But when they posted the final candidates, well, you might say they're just a little terrifying. While candidate A doesn't actually look too bad, B is certainly a little odd, and C is downright frightening, like it crawled out of the depths of the ocean to claim your sanity. And of course, voters picked candidate C, the terror from the depths, to become the official World Expo mascot of 2025. Good job, guys. Good job. Number 7. At 5:30 AM on March 20, smoke was seen rising from an abandoned building in the mountains of Mie Prefecture. Authorities received numerous reports from locals and went out to find the long-abandoned 7-story Japanese inn Old Castle on fire. Nobody was injured, and police are investigating the cause of the fire, which took 20 trucks roughly 10 hours to put out. The abandoned building can be found in the mountainous hot spring district of Komono City, but the reason this is notable here is that Old Castle is actually a famous ghost spot in Japan. The building was constructed in the 1960s, and while it's unknown when exactly it closed, it's believed to have happened sometime in the late 1990s or early 2000s. There have been numerous reports of people who visited the site having accidents on their way home and, in some cases, even dying. There were also reports that a mangled corpse was once found in the ruins, and the spirit of that corpse still haunts the site, even now. Entry to the abandoned building is, of course, off limits, but it seems that even now, people can't help themselves and insist on destroying things. Number 8. In a strange bit of crime news, on March 22nd, a 75-year-old unemployed man entered a pet shop in Asahikawa City in Hokkaido, brandishing a knife. He suddenly pulled it out on the woman who was helping him and started threatening her with it. "What is the meaning of this? Doing business like spreading germs?" he reportedly screamed at her shortly after 6 p.m. He then left, and the woman called the police. Thankfully, nobody was injured, but police arrested the man and, when questioning him about why he did it, he reportedly said, "I only waved the knife up and down. I didn't wave it left to right." Indeed. I'm not sure that was the problem to begin with, though. Number 9. I'd be remiss if I didn't include this bit of news, considering that, at some point, I had like 5 to 10 people a day contacting me to ask me if I'd heard about it, despite the fact I had posted about it several times. On March 5th, a Twitter user posted a photo that showed the Sesholseki, the killing stone, in Tochigi had split in half. Of course, there's a legend tied to this stone stating that it's actually part of Tamamo no Mae, the infamous kitsune, who sure did a number on Japan in the past. I actually have a full video on the legend right here on this channel if you want to check it out, but once people saw the stone had split in half, well, they all started to fill their pants. Now, the stone has had a split in it for quite some time now, and it's in an area full of toxic volcanic gases, hence the stone's name. So, it's not all that surprising that it finally split in two, and no, it doesn't mean the world is ending. We have plenty of other things trying to do that. Number 10. Finally, while perhaps not bizarre, I find this one too funny not to include in our list this month. On March 23rd, a Twitter user posted that a certain trend had been popular amongst junior high students lately. And what trend is that? Doing a thumbs up next to someone else making half a heart with their hand. She was confused as to why this was a thing, and did a little digging and discovered that it really is popular right now, and it seemed to stem from a single photo of a Chun-Li cosplayer posing with a fan. Of course, that fan is Justin Wong, a famous Street Fighter player, and the picture was taken 5 years ago, making it even more fascinating that it's currently doing the rounds of junior high schools now. But there you go. A Street Fighter player being unintentionally or not friend-zoned in a photo created a craze that's still going strong in photos today. And that's just some of the weird, bizarre, terrifying, and also kind of funny news that came out of Japan last month. But what about you guys? Hear of anything odd or terrifying? Weird or funny? Let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you again next time.